else a blackout. And you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They done drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand.
All right, let's start right off the bat. Aubrey Norton. Ponzi agents jailed. Aubrey Norton and wife sentenced to 4 years for $53.5 million. $53.5 million. And before we get into all of this, but Aubrey Norton, that's him right there. Share the link, guys, please, and let's rock and roll tonight for just about maybe an hour, and we're out of here. And if you guys are wondering but it's me, yes, it's me. You can tell from the voice what's happening there, right? No sense to complain, no need to complain. We just got to do what we have to do, right? So Aubrey Norton, how many of you guys saw this here? Aubrey Norton and wife sentenced to 4 years for $53.5 million Ponzi scheme. But when I saw the headline, it says Aubrey Norton. Now, if there wasn't any photograph accompanying this article, then you know where my mind was actually leading to. I'm like, wait a minute, who are they really talking about? Because I only know one Aubrey Norton in Guyana, if you know what I mean. One Aubrey Norton, not two. However, today we are now finding out, and not a nice way either, that there isn't just one Aubrey Norton in Guyana. And the Aubrey Norton that we all know happens to be, well, former leader of the opposition. He's, he's still there. He's leader of the People's National Congress reform. And I'm like, wait a minute, Aubrey Norton? So when I saw the headline, of course I'm like, it's got to be some sort of fake news, right? Without looking at the photograph. And so when I said Aubrey Norton, I was about to pick the phone up and say, no, this has got to be some error. Ponzi scheme? Nah, that can't be Aubrey. It's maybe somebody else. And no, look, I'm not putting my head on the block for anybody, but immediately I knew that it wasn't the Aubrey Norton that we all know. However, when I looked at the photograph, I'm like, this guy is not Aubrey Norton. This is not Aubrey Norton. This is a different Aubrey Norton. You know, the Aubrey Nortons, the Nortons from Linden are different makeup, right? So this, and so if Mr. Aubrey Norton is watching, I'm sure he got lots and lots of phone calls today about this Aubrey Norton. And I've noticed that someone in the audience, and I agree with all of you who are saying, and today it's actually the truth, right? Not one dog alone named Pompey, right? Or something like that. And so I had to smile, not to smile at this guy's predicament and his wife. Certainly, I don't know who they are. I don't know what the circumstances are. But right away, I smile because many folks who didn't read the article or watch the photographs may just conclude that, oh, Aubrey Norton. So good night, Mr. Aubrey Norton, leader of the People's National Congress Reform. If you're watching, I don't know. How are you doing, Mr. Aubrey Norton? But this is not the leader of the People's National Congress Reform, obviously. And so it was a little bit of a chuckle for today. People were inboxing each other. And Charlene A. Moses, you're wicked. Oh, okay. You know that youngster since you're a child. I saw it on your page, Charlene A. Moses. How are you doing? You guys must go and support her when she supports. She puts stuff up there. The right things, mind you, not people that we think are using the Guyanese people to get where they want to get. But yeah. So again, this is not to say whether these folks are guilty. I don't know the circumstances. It's just a name. That's all. All right. So moving on, is Pagwa right? I mean, look, we got to. What is our operator doing, right? If it wasn't for Pagwa, you would still recognize the individual. How many of you know this individual talking? Pagwa? It looks like the guy attended IFRAT University. Oh, okay, that's Irfan Ali. Usually looks like that. Year go, year come, as they say. But it's Pagwa, and everybody's celebrating Pagwa. Just like everyone celebrates Christmas, Easter, and all these sort of things. And so this is the one, right? The presidents, right? I don't know. He looks like this all the time, anyways. But it's Pagwa, and so I just want to wish all of you, our Hindu brothers and sisters, if you can take Paku off the stage, so to speak. Good night. My name is Mark Benja. Welcome to Straight Up. Happy Pagwa. And those of you who celebrate it are Hindu brothers and sisters. Those who are, some of them are my relatives some of them don't even call me these days. So nothing, politics there. I joke with some of them. But it's okay. It's okay. I don't lose sleep over that. I still get flour and I still make bread with flour, and I still make bake with flour. They don't say no roti or nothing. It's okay. All right. What else is happening in your neck of the woods as um, we talk about things in Guyana? Someone sent this here to me early in the day. Do you recognize anyone here in this photograph? Let me see if you guys recognize anybody in this photograph. Right here, this photograph on 107.1 FM. This photo was taken over a decade ago, probably almost 15 years ago. You guys don't laugh. If anybody laugh, they're going to be blocked tonight, or they're going to get the, you know, anybody you recognize, anybody in this photo? Let me see if you know folks here. Yeah, that's me in that suit in Guyana. And do you know whereabouts in Guyana that is? Um, People are saying Mark in his younger days, y'all go along. Some of y'all gonna get blocked. Carlton Popo, you're getting blocked tonight. Yeah, that's and good night to all of you. If you haven't shared the link as yet, please share the link. Rajan Bim, what's going on, my friend? All right, so let's get ready. Yeah, that's me there back in Linden. That was during the struggle, Linden. And then the lady with the hand in the ear, I think that's, I'm not sure. Right. But I know the guy in the red short pants, that's Norman Brung, right? That's Norman Brung in his short pants, his yachting boots, right? That's Norman Brung. And then standing next to Norman Brung is he was then the chairman of Region 10, Mr. Sharma Solomon, who is now MP. And that's him. Sharma Solomon, I'm not sure there's anybody else who served as chairman and then mayor and then member of parliament. And who knows, bigger things to come, who knows. But that's Norman Brung in his red three-quarter pants, yachting boots. And that was when the struggle out there in Linden, and we stood up against the corrupt PPP then. And the gentleman next to Sharma Solomon is someone from the east coast of Demerara. I can't remember his name, but he does have a long African name, and he goes by the name of Bubu Chudu Bungu Dungu Bungu. You got to get a long set of drums, and I'm not mocking or anything, but that's his name for real. That's his name. I think he's a African high priest. Is that what you call it? I don't know. Somebody saying Nav Joe 30. I don't know. Nav Joe. Anyways, good night and thank you. In fact, it's the MP Sharma Solomon who sent me this photo earlier. He says, "Hey, look what I found. Look what I found." And, I think it was what's his name? Gordon Mosley was laughing me in this suit, but Gordon Mosley is in no position to laugh people and suits, right? Knowing that pants that he wore when he walked from Linden to Georgetown. But good night to Gordon Mosley. All right, so what's happening, guys? What's happening in your neck of the woods? I wasn't able to do much research tonight, so there isn't. And when I don't do my research, I can't really speak much because they got some research freaks out there, right? One of them might start type research even before. So let me just give this organization, STEM Guyana, a plug. The 10th anniversary. Can you believe that STEM Guyana has been around for all those years? 10 plus years in Guyana, going around the country, doing their thing. And then, what's not so funny is that ExxonMobil recently announced that they are going to be giving $100 million to STEM programs across Guyana. And do you know, not a cent, at least we haven't heard that as yet. Not a cent, not a cent. Do your research on this STEM Guyana 10 years celebration. 10 years dealing with young people across Guyana. Do you know, prior to this, a lot of young people weren't, prior to STEM Guyana, a lot of young people weren't interested in robotics. Maybe they were, but STEM Guyana were able to was able to motivate these young people, and they continue to motivate young people. And young people went around the world as a result of STEM Guyana, representing Guyana in the robotics competitions and all these different things. And you're telling me that the folks at ExxonMobil, they do not know about this? And what is the reason for not including STEM Guyana, that organization that has the longest record in terms of going after young kids and teaching them about technology? Look at these young kids. They're building, it's a robotic, it looks as though they're building a tractor and all these things. And to have these tractors, whatever it is, robots to operate via a remote control. Little kids, oh yeah, all across Guyana, they can do it. But guess what? STEM Guyana is left out of $100 million. But, you know, it is. We already peeped the card. We already know what's going on. Hopefully it will change. And the folks at ExxonMobil will understand what needs to be done. And perception. The perception basically is that this organization, STEM Guyana, is left out for obvious reasons. Read between the lines. Obvious reasons. Now, what else is happening that we can talk about? We already spoke about this. This is not Aubrey Norton, the leader of the opposition. This is a different Aubrey, as you can tell, a different Aubrey Norton. All right? So stop texting and asking if that's, if you read the article, look at the photographs. Read the article and look at the photograph. Well, this gentleman served as a member of parliament in the earlier days. It was GAP WPA, and he was the member of parliament when the WPA teamed up with GAP, that is the Guyana Action Party, headed then by a guy named Paul Hardy. And GAP and WPA teamed up, and they were able to get that seat. And Dr. Rupert Narine was also an MP then. Then under the coalition, he became an MP again, and not only just an MP, but he became a Minister of Education. Minister of Education under the PNC-led government. The PNC-led government. Now, this is a guy, he has contributed. There are a bit of, everybody has a little bit of controversy and whatever. And Dr. Rupert Narine acknowledged years later that the WPA was stockpiling weapons, guns, if you know what I mean, to overthrow the PNC, the Burnham government. And when you overthrow a government, you don't overthrow a government with just a loud hailer trying to save people, if you know what I mean. You stockpile weapons and all these things. And that is what Dr. Rupert Narine has admitted to, that the WPA at one point in time or some point in time, they were doing that with the intention to overthrow the Burnham-led PNC government. And so years later, the PNC-led coalition from 2015 to 2020, they were in control, of course, a partnership. That's where they came about with a partnership of national unity, of which Dr. Rupert Narine and all of these guys played a part. But I have some other stuff to say that during those days, apparently someone in the meeting heard that they were contemplating on inviting Freddie Kissoon and I, two radicals. One is a more sensible radical and a more conservative radical than the other orangutan. And you guys know who's the more sensible and conservative radical. Of course, it's not Freddie Kissoon, but you guys figure out who of the two. Freddie and I. Now, Freddie found out that Dr. Rupert Narine and others didn't want us to be part of a partnership for national unity. But in Guyana, people like to sue and think a little bit. So I didn't take it seriously, but it's okay. But Freddie took it to heart and he started to cuss out Rupert. Rupert is this. He wrote a set of nasty things about Dr. Rupert Narine, a bunch of nasty things. And the amount of hatred that Freddie has for people I saw it firsthand, the hatred that he had for Dr. Rupert Rupnarine. And sometimes when people come across as though they're hating others, it is not that they're hating them because of nothing else to do. It's oftentimes jealousy, lots and lots of jealousy disguised as hatred, and that's Freddie's problem. He hates and he jealous people too much. He's jealous of me because of my good looks. He's jealous of me because I'm far more intelligent than him. He's jealous of me because I'm far more qualified than him. He's jealous of me because I'm far more articulate than him. He's jealous of me because I'm bigger than him. Good night again. Welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benchop. And I'm saying all of this because I saw who at the funeral of Dr. Rupert Rupnarine? No other than Freddie Kissoon. And I'm like, anyways, life is what it is, right? Life is what it is. All right, again, good night. My name is Mark Benchop. And welcome to Straight Up. Again, our condolences, the passing of Dr. Rupert Rupnarine, to his family members, his friends, and even those who are members of the WPA. And I oftentimes say to Dr. David Hines that the WPA is consists of 6 members, and now they're left with only 5. Only 5. I don't know. Dr. David Hines is going to send me a text pretty soon to say, no, it's not 5, it's still 6. Again, good night. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about the ERC. The ERC, which is the Ethnic Relations Committee, or Commission, sorry, and it's headed by no other than the husband of the Director of Public Prosecution, Mr. Hack. Mr. Hack is the current chairman of the Ethnic Relations Commission. I repeat, Mr. Hack is the chairman of the Ethnic Relations Commission. Hey guys, we are going to take a quick break. I realize that that we are not broadcasting on one platform, so we'll try to take a quick break and be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Let's try.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours a blackout, and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Get your give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clout. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barrett and Sue, cause I done fed up. You done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US, and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look where the oil money going.
Sorry about that, guys. We had some technical problems, but that hopefully it has been rectified. Hopefully, I noticed somebody saying, "Hey, Mark, stop hating." I don't know what I'm hating about. I don't know. And you know, when they come with that, you know who they are, right? Trench crappos. You know who they are, and we're quick to see the trench crappos, and you know what we usually do with the trench grapples, right? We don't give them. This is not a venue for trench grapples. So right away we have to go in the trench, so to speak. All right, again, good night to all of you. This guy that is on the screen, his name is Norris Witter. Norris Witter is a member of the Ethnic Relations Commission. The Ethnic Relations Commission, in my opinion, is dividing up the country. And it appears as though they are being used as a political tool by the PPP. And that political tool is mainly to go after political opponents. And when they go after their political opponents, they have guys like Norris Witter who sit there and remain silent like pussycats, and there's nothing to say. There's no defense, and therefore we are only left to call them out. And I don't feel too comfortable calling Norris out in this manner, but I have to do it because I spoke with him quietly and I asked him to resign. I said it's a waste of time. They're using you. And because of that, you cannot sit there. Your voice is needed, Norris. And if you are sitting in a commission such as ERC that should be fair across the board, and you are silent, then it leaves me to conclude that you are complicit, that you are part and parcel of the problem. Unless you prove otherwise, sir, I can only conclude that indeed you are part and parcel of the problem. You and others who ought to be independent seem to be on the side of the oppressors. Now, I understand pay and people got to get a little pay and whatever. But at the end of the day, it is more than just a money. It is more than just people have to survive. People are being taken advantage of in the country. And as a result of that, it's folks like Norris Witter who we are depending on. And so, Mr. Witter, you can't left us high and dry and basically not say or do anything. It's just unacceptable. And I don't know how we can correct this here with regards to Norris. Norris has been in the struggle. He's a veteran trade unionist. He is the president of the Guyana Trades Union Congress. They need to do some fighting over there as well. Norris' voice is needed. We hear a lot from Lincoln Lewis. But Norris' voice is silent on a lot of matters. And I know in times people get up there in age, and, I've known Norris since I was a little boy. And so he is known to the entire family. He is from a beautiful village on the quarantine called Limlair or Nurney, Limlair, Kilonan, and so forth. And so he's a respectable man. He's a fighter. But I do not want his silence at the Ethnic Relations Commission to basically soil up or dirty up his years of standing up and fighting for workers' rights and human rights and so forth and so on. Hence the reason I'm saying to you, Mr. Norris Witter, that the time has come for you to speak out, for you to stand up and speak out against the injustices emanating out of ERC. The ERC is basically, they're not just there, somebody make a complaint that somebody calls somebody a paku, somebody calls somebody a chorale, somebody calls somebody a olig, and then the ERC picks it up. The ERC is picking up personal matters and so forth, matters that the police ought to be dealing with. ERC has become the police now. So if somebody calls me a wig wearer, Mark get on his wig, Mark bumps Ray's because Mark doesn't wear wig. Jack Deere wears wig. And so because Mark is uncomfortable being called a wig wearer or Mark is wearing lipstick, and so Mark doesn't like that. Mark, I'm speaking of me, by the way. Stop it, right? And so I go to the Ethnic Relations Commission and complain about the lip, and then the Ethnic Commission now is going to say, "Well, we will investigate it. We will invest." That is not the job of the Ethnic Relations Commission, to pick up personal matters. A guy in Borby's name, some uncle, some TikTok uncle. He's funny sometimes, but not all the time. But he attack all kind of thing. Whatever come through here, TikTok uncle attack. So he sings something, and they haul him before the Ethnic Relations Commission. Sharma Solomon, the MP, said something they don't like. They haul him before the Ethnic Relations Commission. Norman Brown says something that they didn't like. Well, you know Norman Brown and his English accent, right? Good night. The bombs raised. And so they decided that they're going to drag these folks and others in front of the Ethnic Relations Commission. Someone needs to challenge the Ethnic Relations Commission. Seriously. Because they are doing a lot of things that's outside of the scope of the Ethnic Relations Commission. They've got to do something about that. At this point in time, people are getting fed up because it appears as though the Ethnic Relations Commission has become a personal tool of the People's Progressive Party, a personal tool that they're using to go after political opponents. It has got to stop. Now, take a look at this here. I want you guys to know that they went after, the Ethnic Relations Commission went after this guy.
PPP will take care of you from erection to...
from right? They went after that guy.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection. A quick one for you. And the last time I said that, somebody came up to me and said, "Man, you little bias. Erection is a man thing. What happened to the women? So I got a woman thing for you." And hear me, from the moment she slime up till you get caught up, we gonna take care of you. Thank you.
Oh yes, and they took care of him for truth. We gonna take care of you. The moment she caught up, and then that guy is supposed to be a pastor, you know. Can somebody turn to your neighbor and say, "Pastor?" Right? So they put him on the wanted list, so to speak. And again, that is wrong. I'm not. Look, forget about him. He could defend himself, because he has been throwing tantrums all weekend. He vex. If y'all ever see a man bombs raised, right? If y'all ever see a man bombs raised, this guy, not Norris, sorry. We should remove Norris from
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout, and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Get your give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up.
You know, so sorry about that. So our operator has to remove Norris, and hopefully Norris will get it right. Norris, you will get it right. I know you know better. You are in the ERC there as a commissioner to do what is right. Imagine, I haven't seen Rhonda Lane. Somebody tag Rhonda Lane. Do you guys know that the ERC Rhonda Lane spoke about history and indenturedships and those who came as indentured servants and so forth and so on. And the ERC dragged her because Rhonda Lane spoke her opinion based on history and so forth about indentureship. And somebody bumps raised and they reported her to the ERC. The ERC charged her. Something is wrong. Something is going on wrong at the ERC there. They charged Rhonda Lane, dumped her in front of a court. And do you know the court found Rhonda Lane guilty? And that woman, somebody tag her. I don't know where she at. Basil Bradshaw, can you tag Rhonda Lane? Wayne Caesar, tag Rhonda Lane. Somebody tag Rhonda Lane, please. Unless Rhonda Lane, I know. Israel Garden, tag Rhonda Lane. Unless Rhonda is our friend. She ran out of credit tonight. Somebody taps your phone up or something. Somebody do something. It's my friend. It's my friend. She's a fighter. And so the ERC charged Rhonda Lane, took her before the court, and the court found Rhonda Lane guilty. And that woman, our friend Rhonda Lane, had to pay $500,000 fine. She had to find $500,000. Now, come on now. That is what they did to Rhonda Lane. And you would be surprised some of those who turned her down from representation and all these sort of things. A lot of things going on that y'all will turn to y'all neighbor and say, really? But Rhonda is still with us. Rhonda Lane is still with us. She's a fighter. But they went after Rhonda Lane. But people who cuss up every day, Rhonda is here. She's saying she's there. Good night, Rhonda. Hope all is well. Right? Rhonda, good night to you. Now, this is what's happening. And by the way, Rhonda, I heard your live. You were talking about Dilip. Some folks reported to me that Jack Deo is missing in action, and that's got to be Dilip. I think you're right, Rhonda. Jack Deo is said to be going through some serious medical treatment, and he cannot be seen publicly. Sometimes people mistake Dilip for Jack Deo. So a lot of things going on. They're going to figure it out sometime. But back to the ERC. People cuss up that they are going to poison all African Guyanese in Guyana. Do all sorts of things, and they're not dragged before the court. They're not penalized by ERC, maybe because of their political connection and them more embracing the PPP, that the PPP is there to protect them. And so anytime you see somebody who really should be charged, not Rhonda Lane, not Sharma Solomon, not our English friend Norman Brown, sorry. No, not Kadaki. They even went after Brian Max. Everybody that speaks out, everyone who speaks out against the corrupt PPP regime, it appears that the guys at ERC, including my friend Norris Witter, who is silent. He doesn't come out not once to say that he disagrees with this X, Y, or Z. He sits there quietly. It reminds me of when Lincoln and I, we were in the lockups together, right? Henry Green locked us up. Henry Green locked us up. Now, Fidel Albert is saying, would you be so kind to take down Norris Witter? Take down Norris Witter? Who could be more friend than Norris? I've known Norris since I was a little boy growing up. That was donkey years ago. Norris is staying up. He's staying right up here he's staying. He's my friend, but he's got to do the right thing. He's staying right up here. Right there, he's staying up there, right? And so all of these things that we see, right, Fidel, Albert? All of these things that we see happening at ERC, and no one is speaking out. Not even Norris Witter that Fidel Albert begging for he come down. He's not coming down. He's not coming down. Not just down, he's not coming down. They've got to get it right. And the ERC, they got people who are supposed to be independent and people who were nominated by the government, the so-called PPP regime. And I cannot sit in any commission and see wrongs being done and stay quiet. I don't care how much they pay me. I don't care how much roti I get in. I don't care how much dal puri I get in. I don't care how much sweet rice I get in. I don't care how much squash and rice I get in. I don't care. At some point in time, you've got to say enough is enough, and you've got to speak out. You've got to speak out. Gavin Park, I know that. Why? I know that, Gavin. I've known Mr. Witter since a little boy. I respect him. I salute him for his work. But don't throw your work away like that, Mr. Witter, just like that. No. The same PPP government came after us, locked us up for 3 nights in a filthy cell, that same filthy brick dam lockups. While Lincoln and I were preaching for 3 days and nights in that lockup. 3 days, we weren't sleeping. Norris got in there, pulled a piece of cardboard box, and lie down, and he slept for 3 days. He got up to pee and eat food. Well, there wasn't really food to eat because I told you all that story before. They had a bucket in there. They fed us from that bucket. They throw the food in the bucket. It's the same bucket that everybody had to bathe with. It's the same bucket that everybody had to flush the toilet with. It's the same bucket everybody had to eat from. That's a fact. It's no joke, guys. Lincoln Lewis has confirmed that many occasions. That's reality. That's what some of us went through, including Norris Witter. And Norris Witter should know better. That is why I'm focusing on him publicly. This is not to be disrespectful to Mr. Witter. I appreciate, I salute his work. If I had an opportunity to give him an award for what he has done for workers' rights in the country, I will do so. But he's too silent. ERC is doing a lot of things to people. Lots and lots of things to people. And it has got to stop. It can only stop when folks from within ERC start speaking out. Now, take for example, ERC had no right to put Sharma Solomon's photograph up there as a wanted man, so to speak, because they know how to reach Mr. Solomon. They could basically pick the phone up and say, Mr. Solomon, we need to see you because of X, Y, and Z. Settle it privately. Now, you put people's photographs up when you can't find them. Now, I don't know why they put Norman Brown's photograph. Norman Brown is not in the jurisdiction. And when someone is outside of the jurisdiction, you can't take away their constitutional rights to broadcast and freedom of expression, and then charge them for a crime in another jurisdiction where the laws aren't applicable to Norman Brown or anybody else. Norman Brown is entitled to his freedom of speech. He's in the UK. That is where he's broadcasting from. And therefore, the laws of the UK is not applicable. No ERC law is applicable at all. And therefore, how are you going to attempt to infringe on the rights of individuals? Now, if you commit a crime, there's a criminal act, then it's different. And to say or to call someone name is not a criminal matter. It is a civil matter, and it should not be dealt with as though it's a criminal matter by the Ethnic Relations Commission. And it's time that some lawyer in Guyana stand up and deal with this issue once and for all, because they're getting out of hand. And somebody has got to take a position. The opposition, most opposition folks have suffered as a result of the Ethnic Relations Commission. Kadaki has gone through it before. Sherrod Duncan has gone through it before. Scores of others have gone through. You recall that Sherrod Duncan said something about some official at GCOM, and that official bombs raised, and ERC went after. So when these PPP guys bombs raised, the ERC goes after them. And Norris Witter sits there along with others, and they do absolutely nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. What the ERC is doing to the nation is equivalent to this. Certain people, that is what the ERC is doing. And the ERC cannot infringe on the constitutional rights of individuals. Regardless of those individuals, people have a right. Now, I'm not sure the ERC, y'all heard the elder Muhammad father spoke about black man and black man and black man, this and black. That's what they go after people. But I'm not sure they went after Nazar Mohammed, though, right? But they're going after, now I'm not saying that they should go after everybody. Since when saying black man is a crime? People say, David Hines say all the time, as a black man. So what? People should be proud. People should be proud of these sort of things. And when the ERC that is there to protect the rights, supposedly, there to protect the rights of individuals, that they are violating people's rights, that you can't speak up. If you defame somebody, then there is a channel to deal with that. The Ethnic Relations Commission is overstepping its boundaries. And it has become so political that people are beginning to wonder and question the objective of the Ethnic Relations Commission. That is all that's happening. And people should not be afraid to challenge, to stand up and say a wrong is a wrong. It is a constitutional body indeed. But that constitutional body that is there to ensure that your constitutional rights are respected, they are, based on what we are seeing, violating the rights of citizens in that country, because they're there to be basically servants of their political masters, so it appears. And that is why I say that Norris Witter, you've got to stand up. You've got to say something. They have pastors all there. And the pastors, them not saying anything. Nobody is saying anything. All of them sitting down and they're clapping. They're clapping. So if you know that Sharma Solomon has said something that you don't like, you're telling me Sharma Solomon, former chairman of Region 10, former mayor of Region 10, now serving MP and a senior member of the People's National Congress Reform, that you cannot get the phone number for Sharma Solomon, pick up the phone and call Sharma and say, hey, we would like to see you. What time is convenient for you, right? What time? But you have all these different things. And as we go back to the PPP, Jagdev has said all these dirty things and nobody takes him. The ERC is not interested in. Let me remind you guys about this thing and this thing doesn't hurt me. In fact, it turned me into a businessman. I'm now selling wigs and lipstick. Listen to this. Picture somebody had said this. Somebody in Guyana or wherever had said this about Jagdev. Listen to what Jagdev said about nice guy like me.
These people can be vile and nasty. If I tell you what I know of Benchka, it gets sickening. He was the reigning queen in the prison for 3 years. And the thing is that people, the prison officers, people were carrying food, they were trying to smuggle in a wig and lipstick for him there. I know that because I was president, they gave me report.
Right. They give him report. So if people are smuggling wigs and lipstick and they're giving him report and all these things. Remember Sherrod Duncan said something to a GCOM guy And the GCOM guy bombs raise, all of them bombs raise, every one of them bombs raise, the bombs raise, and then they reported it to the Ethnic Relations Commission and charged Duncan, charged Kadaki and everybody run the lane, everybody. That's what they do, right? So what if I had reported that to the Ethnic Relations Commission? Would they have charged, put a wanted bulletin up for Jack Dale? He said, I'm wearing lipstick. That is an infliction of emotional distress. I couldn't sleep after he said that. People were calling me, Mark, do you have any wig to sell? Mark, what color lipstick? All sort of things. But the ERC wouldn't follow through. The ERC doesn't have time with that. Them ain't got no time with that. There were those newspapers that depicted African women in the most disrespectful form. I wrote to the ERC on the issue and not a response from them. Nothing from them. I even made a complaint. I think it's either Melly Mel or somebody they thing up there. And I reported it to the ERC. And the ERC ain't get time with me. They say, Ben Shop, go along and continue selling your wigs and your lipstick. And continue being the reigning queen, right? Yeah. Because they alone in the PPP, these PPP pacos, these vagabonds, these katahars, these korhis, they're the only ones could talk things about people. And the ERC give them, what, a passing grade. Ignore every single thing. But as soon as some political opponent sneezes, and it sounds as though you're calling some right? The ERC is ready for you. And that is why I'm saying that the ERC is a political tool of this wig and lipstick wearing diva, Bharat Jagdeo and his cook. COOK, by the way. That's what's happening in Guyana. And so when the ERC does what they usually do, it's basically to send a political message to political opponents of the PPP that y'all best watch y'all self. Now, how many of you have experienced that when you gave an opinion about something, especially about the PPP, then you receive a text message from the ERC. They tried that with me, and I say, hey, y'all don't come to me with them stupidness stuff, right? Don't come to me with them stupidness stuff, right? No one is going to take my rights, free speech, where I sit in the United States of America, and you want to infringe on my rights to tell me that you are in Guyana monitoring me on my opinions. And so I sit in the United States of America, you backside sit at the ERC, and you're going to want to type and say to me, oh, you can't say this and you can't say that. Sorry about that, guys. It's this finger, right? It's like, what's wrong with these people? Who the hell are you guys at ERC to tell me what I should say from what I shouldn't say? These people are a bunch of katahars, if you ask me. Y'all know what katahar mean, right? Katahar. Gosh, man. And then, I was hoping that the guys them in APNU and so forth would have issued a statement condemning these acts by ERC, but nothing. People has only get vexed. Some people has only get vexed, and the bombs just raised when they are on the list. If they're not on the list, anybody else could be on the list. They don't care. They just don't care. And as soon as they get on the list, oh, they're being persecuted. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're this. But everybody else is okay, right? Now, the ERC never come after me or whatever. They may put me on no list. They may put me on no list or whatever. And so I don't have I could easily turn a blind eye too and peep ERC, because it's going to be a cat and mouse between ERC and me. That's what it's going to be. And you got to be able to say, call a spade a spade. That ERC, if they are there as a constitutional body, then they should be doing what is right and not the perception that they're acting as a political tool for the PPP regime. That is all. That's all that I'm saying. Do what's right. And do not appear to be this puppet of the PPP regime, that you're only personally going after political opponents of the PPP. It's not right. That you're only going, somebody else could say all sorts of things they're going to do to persons of African descent in Guyana, all sorts of things. And then when you do caught up with them, you give them a chance, you contact them, and when you do speak with them, you send them to get help. You send them for treatment. You don't charge them or anything. You think they need help. But the likes of Rhonda Lane, they don't need help. You send them to court. You charge them. You have the police charge them. And then poor Rhonda Lane, no evidence against the woman. She was found guilty. And she had to pay 500,000 Guyana dollars. How many of y'all know that story? When you look a certain way, and the Ethnic Commission should not have that sort of perception, by the way. And that is the perception out there, that when you look a certain way, you will be charged and you will be found guilty. All these things they do. We might charge they charged Malcolm Harry Paul. The Ethnic Relations Commission charged Malcolm Harry Paul. Guess why they charged Malcolm Harry Paul? Because Malcolm said that the Guyana Defense Force, Jack Dewa and Irfan and them family, they don't join there, they don't go there and let our Indian brothers and sisters go and join in numbers the Guyana Defense Force. What is wrong with that statement? What is wrong with saying that the Guyana Defense Force is predominantly African Guyanese, and therefore our Indian brothers and sisters should go and join also, and let everybody go at the border, the Venezuela-Guyana border, and defend the border? What is wrong with that? Whose bombs raised in the PPP that the ERC decided that they're going to charge Malcolm Harry Paul, who served as a lieutenant in the Guyana Defense Force? He served there under the PNC, and the PNC didn't victimize him or anything, you know. The PNC didn't victimize him at all. In fact, he was given a raw deal by the PPP, and the same Malcolm Harry Paul, who was demonized by the PPP regime, even though he was a PPP member, and I'm talking about PYU and all these different things, Malcolm Harry Paul was given a national award by the PNC, by the coalition government. So you see, there is no spite that we saw under the coalition. Everybody lived. That was what was truly a true depiction of a one Guyana, one people, one nation, one destiny. But these guys in the PPP, their bombs was raised. Soon as you say something and you tickle them, soon as you touch them and you tickle them, some of them you don't even have to tickle them. Soon as they see you, oh, sorry, I should not be. My apologies, right? And that is what's going on in Guyana. It is wrong. What the ERC is doing is wrong. They're violating people's rights, constitutional rights, freedom of expression. It is okay to say some of the things that I see people are wanted for by ERC. I'm like, you couldn't be serious in 2026. Somebody bombs raised because you say the bombs raised. Somebody bombs raised because you said that is walk and wine. So if I say that Kwame McCoy does walk and wine, the ERC gonna come after me. If I say that Irfan Ali belly does drop over when he said, showtime, Sure, the ERC gonna come. And the point that I'm making, adding a little humor, take a look at the earphone.
The national player! And the ball from Buxton Digital. All over! Showtime! Showtime! Bust your ass! The national player, bust your backside.
I'm offended. Because that's not how you whine. That's not how you say, showtime. You see the point I'm making? The same air finale was in Buxton. How many of y'all know Buxton is, right? The Buxtonians say Buxton. Air finale was in Buxton and insulted Dr. David Hines. I think he called him a J-ass or something like that. And all these things. But the ERC wouldn't pick up on these things. They wouldn't send to have a word with Irfan because Irfan can say anything. Jagdir can say anything. The PPP guys, them in at Freedom House and the PPP MPs and the ministers, they could say all sorts of things. They could call people names. They could do all sorts of things, right? But when you say it back to them, the feelings hurt, the bumps raise, and the ERC, the hoots the ERC to go after you like the poodles. And that is what is happening at the ERC. People are of the view that the Ethnic Relations Commission isn't operating in a fair manner, and that the Ethnic Relations Commission is violating the rights, the constitutional rights of citizens, the political rights of citizens. Now, let's ask, what exactly Sharma Solomon is wanted for? And couldn't they have reached Sharma Solomon that they had to attempt to embarrass him, embarrass Sharma Solomon by putting his photograph up there as though he's wanted? You know, the truth is, I'm sure when you hear what they really want these people for, y'all gonna laugh. As the Trinidadians would say, all you would laugh because it's nothing substantial. What they want Norman Brown for? What exactly they want these guys for? Now, I called Mr. Solomon briefly, woke him up probably if he's sleeping. Mr. Solomon, my name is Mark Anthony Benchop. You're live on Benchop Radio now. Your photo is plastered all over social media by the Ethnic Relations Commission. Can you say to us, please, sir, and forgive me for just, calling you just like that, what exactly the ERC wants you for, sir?
Well, Mark, thank you for waking me up. Indeed, you have. But God is good. I can always oblige. And Mark Benchcab, good evening to you and your listeners.
Thank you.
And let me just say that this matter with the ERC is one that should concern every single Guyanese in terms of freedom of expression, freedom of opinion, and just how the ERC is used selectively to ensure that it takes away what now becomes the last hope for Guyanese, which would be that voice. Now, the matter we have asked, in fact, today, and I'll put out an official statement tomorrow, Mark, because today I had a visit to the ERC with my lawyer, as Dexter Todd, and we've asked them to provide us with what it is that the offense is in writing, which they have committed to do on Friday. So those were the concerns we expressed, including the manner in which they went about the notification of the public notice, which we were given an update as to why that was so. However, it was something that is not necessary, but it was done nevertheless.
So one second. Something that, did they at ERC admit that it should not have happened, the wanted bulletin, so to speak?
Well, I don't think it's a wanted bulletin. I think it's an urgent situation, which does not necessarily require the urgency of contacting persons directly. they said that they sent something through the mail, of which I never received. So that is the problem in terms of the issuing of notice. But it stemmed from a matter of the campaign. And we've asked them to give us a proper notification as to exactly what it is that we are responding.
So when you say the campaign, months ago, the 2025 election?
This is the 2025 election. This is one of the campaign meetings. Mark, I am very clear in the things that I say. I am very conscious on everything that I do. So I am very confident that this matter is one of political persecution.
So when you guys met with ERC, did you guys meet with the commissioners or the chairman?
No, the commissioners were out. So we met with the individual, Mr. Khan, who is investigating the matter. And we've asked them to ensure that we see exactly this in writing.
How many investigators, maybe you have done your research, how many investigators ERC has?
I have no idea, Mark. I've asked them to ensure that everything is related to Mr. Todd.
Did they apologize for putting your photo out there without contacting you via phone?
Well, like I said, we only spoke to the investigator who gave us an update as to what is the circumstances, and we've asked them to put that in writing.
All right. Well, how does that make you feel in terms of the ERC, the perception that the ERC is being used as a political tool?
Mark, I have been part of this political environment for a number of years. We have had the unfortunate privilege, so to speak, to have snipers be placed on rooftop. We've had our names on a list with people who are not to be part of this society for too long. We've had a lot that have been done to us in the past and continue even now. But that have never deterred our spirits of ensuring that when we see wrong, we speak against it. When we see wrong, we act against it. And that will continue to be so, Mark.
Absolutely. Mr. Sharma Solomon, Member of Parliament, thank you so much. We will stay in touch with you concerning this situation and more. Again, I know you guys are 1 hour ahead, but it's been a busy day for you. We'll talk some other time. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you for having me on, and blessings to you and your audience, Mark.
Yeah, thank you so much. Sharma Solomon there for you guys, Member of Parliament and former chairman of Region 10, former mayor of Region 10 also. There you go. My boss is here. Former mayor of Region 10 as well, Sharma Solomon. Guys, here it is that you have heard what's happening there in Guyana. You have heard what is happening with the ERC, and it's time that the ERC conduct itself in a respectable and a respectful manner that would be seen in the eyes of all Guyanese as a fair commission, as a fair organization. As of now, it's not being seen as a fair commission at all. All right, so here's where I have to pull the curtains down. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. But before we go, no update on this 70-year-old man who jumped over the window, killed himself. No update on the young woman who jumped over the window, killed herself. All these things happening in Guyana, lots and lots of things, but the distractions, mind you, the distractions. Lots and lots of distractions. We're seeing it every single day. And people are only concerned about themselves and so-called political persecution about themselves, and others are being persecuted every single day. And the voices of some of these people who are bawling out and crying out persecution as of late, if you know what I mean, right? I don't know, guys. I don't know what's happening in Guyana. I saw this article, WIN wants compliance system for gold mining sector to be fully digitized. My name is Mark Benchop. I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. All right. 107.1 FM. All right. God bless you. And to all those beautiful people in Linden, I heard a lot of elderly women in Linden. They watch this show, you know. Good night to all of you, every single one of you, and not just in Linden, all across Guyana. We love you guys, and those of you who are outside of Guyana, we love you guys as well too. I was told earlier that there's a young lady that she watches this program. She passed away. She's from Linden. We'll get her name by tomorrow. I think her name is Pamela or something. You know, so condolences to her family. And those of you who are celebrating your birthday, happy birthday to you. Chanel Smith Daniels, celebrating her 65th birthday today. Chanel Smith Daniels, celebrating her 65th birth anniversary today. She happens to be the daughter of Carol Joseph's daughter, Chanel Smith Daniels, celebrating her 65th birth anniversary. Happy birthday to you, Chanel. Pamela Gorick. Pamela Gorick has passed away. Condolences to Pamela Gorick's family. And if any one of you have any sort of situation in your family as well, condolences. If it's a birth anniversary, happy birthday. If it's a wedding anniversary, happy wedding anniversary. If it's a divorce anniversary, I'm out of here. God bless you all. So long.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up.